Welcome to the Quartet Lesson 11 Part 1 live stream. Tonight we're covering nari, nari, mai, and sue ni. These are the colors we use for each of the live streams. We have light blue for the grammar points, and all the other colors are for words that haven't shown up in Quartet or Genki yet, but which we feel are worth learning. We mark them with their JLPT level, or whether or not they're common using pink. Either or with nari nari, not to be confused with nani nani. Nani nani means either or. It's similar to, you could think of it like ka, which means or something else. You could also think of it like the or version of ya. Ya is sort of things like this and this. So it's the and version of sort of an unspecified number of things. You're making a list of an unspecified number of things. Like if you say noun A, to, noun B, there's two things. You're saying this and that. If you say noun A, ka, noun B, you're saying this or that. There's two things, right? With nari, nari, with ya, if you say thing one, ya, thing two, you're saying things like these two things. These are examples of a longer list. Nari, nari is that for or. Ya is the and version of that, by the way. Nari, nari is the or version. So things like, if we're using noun A, noun B, things like A or B are examples of C is one way you could use it with nouns. You can also use it with the the dictionary version of verbs. So do version nari, do version nari. So do things such as this or that. The speaker in these situations when we're using nari nari generally doesn't have a preference or show preference to either one. It's sort of like an indifferent thing. It's like whatever, try this or that, doesn't really matter. So apparently it can be considered a little bit not rude, but you're probably not going to be using it with people above you. Like you're not going to be using it with like us inferior in a company isn't going to be using it with the shacho, with the boss or anything like that. That's apparently one thing that is mentioned about nari nari. But one thing that you can't do with nari is use it like tari tari. So tari tari you use for things that you didn't, like you're explaining a list of things, but not an exhaustive list of things that you've done in the past, right? The past tense of a verb, di, past tense of a verb, dis. Yeah, apparently you can't use nari for things that you actually did in the past or things that actually occurred. What you use it for, you could use it for the past if you were talking about a hypothetical of, you know, if I wish this happened or something like this or that happened. But otherwise, yeah, you can't use it that way. Let's go ahead and jump into some examples. Our first one is a parent talking to their child. The parent says, 今日は夕ご飯は自分で作るなり、買うなりして食べてね. So as for dinner tonight, either make something yourself or maybe buy something and eat, okay? So it's probably not a younger child. It's musuko, it says, so it's their son. Maybe an adult son. Child says, I put child in the translation. I shouldn't have. It should be son. Son says, okay. So that's a mistake there. But anyway. So, 今日の夕ご飯. So tonight's dinner. Wow, that's the topic, emphasizing what comes next. 自分で, so on your own. 作る, so make it nari, so make it or something like 買う nari, so either make it or buy it or something. して食べてね. So what's this implies is that there's other things in the list. Like you could go out to eat for all I care. It doesn't matter. Do something and eat. 食べてね. And the son says, はーい. All right, next one is 使わなくなったものは捨てるなり売るなりすれば部屋が片付きます. If you do something like throw out or sell things you don't use anymore, your room will get cleaned up naturally, right? So 使わなくなったもの. So things you don't use anymore. は, that's the topic. 捨てるなり売るなり. So either throw them away or sell them. I don't care. すれば. So if you do something like sell them or throw them away or whatever, 部屋が片付きます. So your room will get cleaned up naturally. 空港から家までは電車なりバスなりで帰るつもりです. So I intend on going home from the airport by either bus or train. So 空港から, so from the airport, 家まで, until my house. は, this is going to emphasize what comes next. 電車なりバスなり. So either by train or bus or something. Maybe it'll be Uber, taxi. I don't know. で, so via that, we covered via de particle via in the newest video on the channel. 帰るつもりです. I intend to go home. So either by bus or train or something. 旅行先に無事着いたら毎回メールなり電話なりで 家族に連絡します。So when I arrive safely at my travel destination, I always contact my family via email or telephone or something. So 旅行先, so the destination is what that means, に無事着いたら when I arrive safely, or yeah, when I arrive safely, 毎回, every time, メールなり、電話なり, so something like mail, email, or telephone or something, で, so via utilizing that, 家族に, in the direction of my family, 連絡します, I contact them. ツアーの自由時間はビーチなりどこなり行ってみればいいんじゃない? So as for your free time during the tour, or our free time depending on the context, wouldn't checking out the beach or somewhere be good? So this is a little bit different. Let's break this one down quick. ツアーの自由時間. So the tour free time は topic ビーチなりどこなり. So どこ is, it means where. So ビーチなりどこなり. You can use WH words in the second part of the なり clause here to say, to emphasize even more, something, somewhere. The beach or somewhere. It's just like saying that in English. The beach or somewhere. You want to go to the beach or somewhere? Would be like this. ビーチなりどこなり行ってみればいいんじゃない? Wouldn't it be good to go to the beach or somewhere? So it's just like that. The beach or somewhere. We have a cousin and me. 喉乾いた. I'm thirsty. ジュースなりお茶なり飲んでねってお母さんが言ってたよ. So here is a quotation using なり. So I say, you know, and that's that yo particle. Mom said, が言ってたよ. Drink something like juice or tea, okay? So ジュースなりお茶なり something like juice or tea. 飲んでね. Go ahead and drink something like juice, okay? ってお母さんが言ってたよ. Mom said, you know? All right, that brings us to our dialogue. お願いします. So we'll read it slowly one time, then at full speed, and then we'll break it down.
今日は眠すぎますよ、先輩。
そうなんだ。じゃあ、レッドブルなり、コーヒーなり、カフェインが入っている飲み物を飲んだらどうだ？
カフェインが入っている飲み物をあまり飲んだことがありませんが、今日は飲むことにします。
うん、それでいいと思う。
ありがとうございます。パイセン。
あれ？
先輩。
はい、full speed。
今日は眠すぎますよ、先輩。
そうなんだ。じゃあ、レッドブルなり、コーヒーなり、カフェインが入っている飲み物を飲んだらどうだ？
カフェインが入っている飲み物をあまり飲んだことがありませんが、今日は飲むことにします。
うん、それでいいと思う。
ありがとうございます、先輩。
はい、let's break it down. We have 今日は眠すぎますよ、先輩。I'm too sleepy today. Senior. Of course, senpai, junior, we don't really say that when we're talking to our coworkers in English. So I just translated them literally to my senior or my junior, the person above me or below me in the company or in school, doesn't matter. In this case, we're thinking work. B responds, そうなんだ. I see. Or is that so? じゃあ, well then, レッドブルなりコーヒーなり. So something like Red Bull or coffee, カフェインが入っている飲み物. So 飲み物, usually the noun that comes after a noun nari is going to be a noun that is referencing the two nouns before it, obviously, right? So 飲み物, Red Bull, and coffee are drinks. カフェインが入っている飲み物, so drinks with caffeine in them. Well, 飲んだらどうだ? Why don't you drink a drink with caffeine in it like Red Bull or coffee or something? カフェインが入っている飲み物をあんまり飲んだことがありませんが、今日は飲むことにします。I've never really drank drinks with caffeine in them much. That's fun to say. Drank drinks. But I think I'll go ahead and drink one today. That's a lot of drinks drunk. Okay. So カフェインが入っている飲み物 drinks with caffeine in them. を That's the direct object. あんまり飲んだことがありません. It doesn't mean I've never drank. It means I haven't really ever drank. Though I have maybe once or twice. That's where that あんまり is adding to the never done before clause of ことがない。今日は飲むことにします。I'll go ahead and drink one today, or I'll make the decision to drink one today. それでいいと思う。Yeah, I think that's a good idea. ありがとうございます、パイセン。Thank you, senior. Of course, senpai, of course. はい。
パイセン。
パイセンAlright, question time. お願いします。
友達や家族が暇をしています。〇〇なり、〇〇なりするのはどうですか？ とアドバイスをしましょう。
So your family and friends are bored or they have a lot of free time. So give them some advice using nari, nari, and どうですか? How about doing something like this or that? You can use the formula, the thing you're advising them to do, nari, the other thing you're advising them to do. するのはどうですか? And you can just copy that part. So for example,
野球なりサッカーなりするのはどうですか?
why don't you do something like どうですか? 野球, baseball, なり, サッカーなり, something like soccer or baseball. And the next one is?
庭に花なり野菜なり植えるのはどうですか?
So how about you plant something like flowers or vegetables? 庭に in the garden. 庭に花なり野菜なり something like flowers or vegetables. 植える means to plant. のはどうですか? How about doing that? All right, our next one is sort of fun. You're going to hear this one a lot in anime and stuff and older people and, well, in a lot of different situations. But I don't know how much you're going to use it. I've used it a few times, but you will see it a lot. So it's important to know about. And it's will not with mai. Not to be confused with nai. I'll show you what the differences are. To make it, you just use it at the end of a dictionary form of a verb. So like taberu mai. And it means will not eat. I intend strongly not to eat. Taberu mai. But if it's an ichidan verb, like taberu, for example, you can use the ma stem instead. You can say tabemai, which also means I intend strongly not to eat. But you don't. The reason there's a star here is because you don't have to use the ma stem with an ichidan verb. You can say taberu mai or miru mai. But with an ichidan verb, you will also see it with just the ma stem. Tabe mai or mi mai. Okay? So mai means two different things, generally speaking. The first one is strongly intend to not do something. The other one is like daro. Daro, like something negative daro ka or something like that. It's like it's saying I imagine it's not this way or I don't think it is this way. It's just like that. 私がサンタクロースだということは誰も気づくまい. So I don't think that anyone noticed the fact that I'm Santa Claus. So that my is not a strongly intending not to do something my. This is clearly a I think that, or I'm pretty sure that this is the case. A sort of a strong feeling or opinion. What was the word that Quartet actually used? A speculation about something. Yeah, that's a good word. So let's break it down. We have watashi ga. So I am the subject here, not the topic, the subject, and that's emphasizing me. The fact that I am Santa Claus da. So I am Santa Claus. Da toyu koto. So the fact that I am Santa Claus, it's me. Wa, and that's that. Now that whole thing is the topic, emphasizing this next part. Daremo, so nobody, when combined with a negative, kizuku mai. So nobody noticed the fact that, or will notice the fact that I am Santa Claus. I put this in the past tense. It probably should have been the future, so I don't think anyone will notice the fact that I am Santa Claus. It's probably how I should have translated this one actually, just so you're aware. But anyway, yeah. So this one is just in speculation that I don't think anyone will notice that I am Santa Claus. All right, the next one is 悔しいが彼女の頼みは断れまい. So here we have an ichidan verb. The last one was not an ichidan verb. It was a regular godan verb. So we had to use the verb in its dictionary form, kizuku plus mai. This one is an ichidan verb. So we could do it either way. We could say kotowareru mai or kotowaremai. You can use the ichidan, the ma stem, either way. Anyway, it's painful, but I don't think I can turn down her request. So kuyashi ga. Painful is not, I don't think, an official translation of kuyashi, but it can be a way you translate it. I think some official translations of kuyashi, what are some official ones? Frustrating or disappointing or bitter or annoying, regrettable. I think painful works fine here. So it's painful. Kanojo no tanomi, so her request. Wa, emphasizing what comes next here. Kotowaremai. I don't think I can turn down her request. This is another speculation here. I don't think it's possible. And one of the things to mention here is that you're going to be able to tell whether this is a speculation. Oh, yeah, speculation. Or if it's a intention not to do something, a strong intention not to do something based on the context, generally speaking. This next sentence is a strong intention. Here we have, Biku ni gameを貸したら壊されてしまった. もう二度と彼にゲームを貸すまい。When I lended my game to B, he broke it on me. I intend to never lend a game to him again. So there we have 二度と, so never again. 彼にゲームを貸すまい. Never lend him a game again. So B 君に, so in the direction of B 君, ゲームを貸したら, so when I lent him a game, 壊されてしまった. He unfortunately broke it, or he broke it on me. Because we're using that, what's the name of that conjugation? I can't remember the name exactly, but the one that is done to me. もう二度と, so もう二度と, so already, or that も is sort of an emotional も. 二度と, so a second time, 彼に in his direction, ゲームを貸すまい. I will never lend him a game again for a second time. Alright, so このカップ麺は死ぬほど辛い. もう買おまい. This cup ramen is deathly spicy. I intend to never buy it again. So このカップ麺, so this cup ramen は, that's the topic emphasizing what comes next, 死ぬほど辛い. It's so spicy I could die. I've translated that as deathly spicy. もう買おまい. I intend to never buy it again. You'll often see the も, you'll see二度と, I think a couple more 決して, but there's some other phrases like that might come before my frequently in this situation. Alright, A 君. This is 上司, so his superior. A 君, この書類をお客さんに届けてもらえまいか? わかりました, says A 君. Boss says, hey, can I have you deliver these documents to the customer? A says, sure thing. So this is slightly different. So you will sometimes hear まい used in a request situation like this, like くれまいか or もらえまいか. Frequently, according to Quartet at least, it's used when quoting a request. When you're quoting, you're saying someone requested you to do this or something like that. But you will hear it sometimes, especially from people above you talking down to you. Not talking down to you in a bad way, but you get what I'm saying, in the Japanese way. So anyway, let's break it down. We have A-kun, so A. この書類, so these documents. を, that's the direct object. お客さんに, so to the customer. 届けてもらえまいか? It's literally the same meaning as 届けてもらえないか? Can I not have you deliver these documents to the customer? Same thing. わかりました. Gotcha. Sure thing. 応援している野球チームに強い選手が入ったので、次の試合で負けることはあるまい. A strong player joined the baseball team I support, so I don't think there is any way we will lose the next game. This is the opinion one, the speculation one. Strong speculation, by the way. I'm pretty confident about this. 応援している野球チーム, so the team, the baseball team that I am supporting. 応援 is an N2 verb that means, or N2, well, it is a verb when it's in the pseudo form. That means support. に, in that direction, 強い選手が入ったので, so a strong player joined, so 次の試合で, so at the next game, or at the next game, 負けることはあるまい. So there's no way that we will lose, I believe. 後輩、大丈夫か?
完全にダメですよ、先輩。
どうした? カフェイン入っているものを飲まなかったのか?
飲みましたよ、先輩。もう二度と飲むまいと思いましたよ。あれは毒ですか? ピエン。
はい、full speed. 後輩、大丈夫か?
完全にダメですよ、先輩。
どうした? カフェイン入っているものを飲まなかったのか?
飲みましたよ、先輩。もう二度と飲むまいと思いましたよ。あれは毒ですか? ピエン。
Oh no. Let's break it down. We have 後輩、大丈夫か? Junior, you okay? 完全にダメですよ。Not at all. No good. 先輩、senior. どうした? What's wrong? カフェイン入っているもの。So things with caffeine. を飲まなかったのか? You didn't drink things with caffeine in them? 飲みましたよ。I did drink. That's literally just what that is. I did drink, but I translated it as I did actually. 先輩, the yo is the actually. もう二度と飲むまいと思いましたよ. I thought, there's no way I'm drinking that again. あれは毒ですか? Is that poison? わー! ピエン! はい、brings us question time. お願いします。
あなたが今まで経験したことの中でもう二度と〇〇しまいと思っていることは何ですか？
So, what is something that you've experienced that you intend to never do a second time? For example,
もう二度とドリアンを食べまい。
I'll never eat durian a second time.
もう二度とブラック企業で働くまい。
I'll never work for I think you guys know what a black company is in Japan. It means a company that is really evil. They basically make you work, 12-hour days for no overtime pay, things like that. We call that black kigyo. So I'll never work for a company like that a second time. So, what is something you've experienced that you'll never do a second time? And you're going to use this formula. もう二度と something something しまい or するまい, depending on if it's a godan verb like 働く or an ichidan verb like 食べる. Finally, with 末に. By the way, 末 has a kanji. We'll get to that in a minute. It means finally or after something something, finally this. So it takes it takes a verb in the short past tense, 末に, or noun with the no particle 末に. So noun no 末に. And it means finally after some complicated process or long thinking process, I came to this decision. Or after a long thinking process, I finally made this decision. So, for example, here, by the way, is the kanji for sue. You're most frequently going to see this written in kanji. The book only gives you the hiragana, but the reason I gave you the kanji is because, well, that's how you're going to see it. So you might as well get used to it because it's a pretty easy kanji. It's a tree with an extra line. Anyway, we have クラスみんなで話し合った末、文化祭の出し物がドーナツ屋に決まった。So finally, after discussing with everyone in the class, we decided to do a donut shop for the culture festival. So one thing I want to mention here is that 末に, the ni, you can have it or you don't have to have it. It doesn't matter. One way or the other. There's no like rule for it. You can have it or you don't have to. Doesn't matter either way, apparently. So, クラス, so my class, みんなで, so via or utilizing everyone in the class, 話し合った末. So after talking to everyone in the class, we finally decided, the 決まった, that finally and after is right here in the 末. 文化祭の出し物, so the thing we'll put out for the culture festival, which is a festival that is held at pretty much every high school, and probably 小学校も文化祭やる? Yuki? やらないか。中学校やるね。小学校やんない。中学校、高校。So in junior high school and high school, they do the culture festival. It's usually in the summer だよね。Every class in the school puts out some kind of display or does like a haunted house or something, or they sell something like that during the festival. So the class decided on a ドーナツ屋に決まった. We decided on a donut shop. And this is implying after a long, complicated discussion, we finally decided on this. 様々な会社を見学した末に、今の会社に決めました。So after checking out various companies, I finally decided on this one. So 様々な、various, いろんな会社を、so various companies を見学した末に。So after checking out or going to look at various companies, I finally, the finally is in the 末に as well, 今の会社 in the now company に決めました. I decided on this company that I'm in now. This finally should have been blue as well, sorry. 毎日コツコツ節約をした末、100万円の貯金ができました. So after saving up untiringly, I finally saved up 1 million yen. So 毎日, every day. コツコツ means untiringly. 節約をした末. So after saving untiringly every day, 100万円の貯金. So 貯金 is 貯金, not 貯金. 貯金. 貯金 is savings, and 100万円 is 1 million yen ができました. So I was able to save up 1 million yen. 期間限定のメニューと悩んだ末、結局いつも通りのチーズケーキを注文しました. So after being conflicted over the limited time menu, I ordered the same cheesecake I always get. 期間限定 means limited time のメニュー. So the limited time menu と悩んだ末. So after worrying about or troubling over the menu, the limited time menu, so after doing that, it took a while, it was complicated. I'm like, oh, what do I want? Do I want this one? I don't know. 結局 Kekyoku is a word that's often used in this situation because in the end, it emphasizes more that finally, in the end, いつも通り, so always the same, no cheesecake, so the same cheesecake as always, を注文しました. I ordered the same cheesecake as always. 長い研究の末、新しい薬の開発に成功した. So finally, after a long study, we successfully developed a new medicine. Developed is an N1 word. So 長い研究の末. So after a long study. 研究 is study or, yeah, study. 新しい薬の開発. So it developed a new medicine. に成功した. So we succeeded at developing a new medicine. 厳しいダイエットの運動の末、ようやく痩せられました. So I finally was able to lose weight after a difficult diet and exercise. ようやく is finally. So 厳しいダイエット. So a strict diet. と運動 and exercise の末. So after a strict diet and difficult exercise, ようやく finally 痩せられました. I was able to lose weight. All right, that brings us to the dialogue. Let's get Yuki back over here for that. All right, I am B, so I guess I'm going to start it out. We'll read it slowly one time, then at full speed.
はい。
一体何があった？
2時間くらい、レッドブルかモンスターかどちらを飲むか迷った末、モンスターにしましたよ、先輩。
大きいよね、モンスターって。
大きかったですよ、先輩。そして一気飲みをしてしまい、もう心臓が爆発するくらい。震えるぞ、ハート。燃え尽きるほど、ヒート。
すまない、後輩よ。カフェインの慣れていないのに、まさかでっかいモンスターにするとは思わなかったよ。ちょうどいい。この書類作りを帰りまでに済ませてくれまいか。
おらおらおらおらおらおらおらおらおらおらおらおらおら。
これがないとおかしいよ。おらおらおらおらおら。
私それ。
そう、私ですよ。
おらおらおらおら。まあ、こうだよね。おらおらおらおら。
はい、フォースピード。一体何があった？
2 時間くらいレッドブルかモンスターかどちらを飲むか迷った末、モンスターにしましたよ、先輩。
大きいよね、モンスターって。
大きかったですよ、先輩。そして一気飲みをしてしまい、もう心臓が爆発するくらい。震えるぞ、ハート。燃え尽きるほど、ヒート。
すまない、後輩よ。カフェインに慣れていないのに、まさかでっかいモンスターにするとは思わなかったよ。ちょうどいい。この書類作りを帰りまでに済ませてくれまいか。
オラオラオラオラオラオラオラオラオラオラオラオラオラオラ。
I wonder if anyone got the reference. Alright, let's break it down. 一体何があった？ What the heck happened? 2時間くらい so for about 2 hours. レッドブルかモンスターか for about 2 hours. Red Bull or Monster かどちらを飲むか so which I would drink, Monster or Red Bull. 迷った末 so after being conflicted over which one to choose, finally, モンスターにしました。I finally decided on Monster. よ、先輩。Senior. 大きいよね、モンスターって。They're big, aren't they, monsters? 大きかったですよ。It was big, senior. そして、and also, 一気飲みをしてしまい、so 一気飲み means to chug something. 一気飲みをしてしまい、unfortunately, もう、so 心臓が爆発するくらい、so now as if my heart will explode, 爆発するぐらい as if it will explode. 震えるぞ、ハート。My trembling heart. 燃え尽きるほど、ヒート。Heat so hot it will burn completely out. アニメのキャラの先輩みたいですね。遊戯王 says close. No. It's a JoJo quote. 震えるぞ、ヒート。燃え尽きるほど、ヒート。ハート、ヒート。
そうそう。
I didn't remember this quote either because it's been a while since I watched the first season of JoJo, but it's from the first season of JoJo, I believe. Who's he fighting in this scene?
そう、ジョナサン・ジョースターがですね、 ディオのさ、
うん
キャソーにみんな
うんうん
城に向かってるでしょ、
はい。
でなんか吸血鬼の2人がさ、
うん。
途中で出てくる、
ヴァンパイアね。
その時に、
はい
使う波
出てくる。
紋の
うんうん
攻撃となっており
The
ます。
first season of JoJo is the best. I don't think anyone can really argue with that. Anyways, from that. All right, the next one is すまない先輩よ。後輩よ。Sorry, junior. カフェインに So in the direction of caffeine 慣れていないのに even though you're not used to caffeine. まさか. Masaka is like I would never have thought of whatever's going to come next. でっかいモンスターにする. So you'd choose a huge monster. とは思わなかった. I never thought you would do something like choose a huge monster. ちょうどいい. That's perfect. この書類作り this document making を帰りまでに before you go home 済ませてくれまいか? Won't you finish these up before you go home for me? And then Jojo. Ora, 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 ora. I can't say it. It's so hard to say that. Ora, ora, ora. I can't do it. All right, question time.
はい。あなたの人生のイベントで悩んだ、考えた末、決めたことは何でしたか?
So, an event in your life that you worried over or thought about hard. After thinking about it hard and worrying about it, what did you decide? So, for example,
いろいろ悩んだ末、成人式の着物は黒色のにしました。
so after worrying about or being troubled over various things, I finally decided on a black kimono for my seijinshiki. And I mentioned this earlier, but I'm going to say it again for the stream cut. Seijinshiki is it's a coming of age ceremony that's held when most people in Japan turn 20 years old. They dress up in kimono, or boys are in a suit, girls are in kimono, and they go to someplace where the ceremony is held, and they have that ceremony. Until this year, it's been when you turn 20 years old that you have it. From this year, I believe it's 18 years old now. They're going to be doing seijinshiki there, ne?
そう
From this year.
はい。
So you'll officially be an adult in Japan at 18 years old as of this year. Up until now, it's been 20 years old.
ね
So, いろいろ悩んだ末, so after worrying and being troubled about various things, 成人式の着物, so my kimono for the coming of age ceremony は, that's emphasizing what comes next, 黒色のにしました. I decided on black.
考えた末、新しいスマホを買うことにしました。
So after thinking about it for a while, which is what's implied here, for a while, finally, 新しいスマホ, so a new smartphone, を買うことにしました. I decided to buy a new smartphone after thinking about it for a while. Thumbs up を攻撃してください.
お
Please
願いします。
smash the thumbs up button and チャンネル登録お願いします. Please subscribe if you haven't already and don't forget to hit the bell so that you know when we go live next time.
よろしくお願いし
よろ
ます。
しくお願いします. また次のビデオで会いましょうね.
はい。
はい.
また来週。
Bye bye.
Bye.
Planning to use these books to learn Japanese in 2022? We explain all the grammar from these books and more here on YouTube in detail. And on ToKiniAndy.com, we have tons of extra grammar explanations, interactive practice exercises with Yuki and I, native shadowing exercises so you can get practice speaking even when you're by yourself, tests, and even progress bars to track your progress through the book. We also plan on beginning to add tons of level-appropriate immersion material throughout 2022. We even have a new exclusive community for members where they can ask questions, help each other, and even play silly Japanese word games. Over 1,800 people have already utilized the ToKini Andy and Yuki premium content. Join the community today and kickstart your Japanese learning journey.